Thanks for staying with us. Welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Joke Rogers. Coming up on today's program. The Senate suspends Borno lawmaker Ali Ndume for 6 months over what the upper chamber describes as an attempt to portray it in bad light. Edo State government insists on creating 63,000 jobs for 4 years, steps up registration of unemployed persons. And residents of Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, call for the relocation of a prison facility located in a residential area. Welcome to the program. We begin at the National Assembly in Abuja, where the Senate has suspended Senator Ali Ndume for 6 months for bringing Senator Dehumanize, the Senate President, and the institution itself into disrepute. The decision was taken after the Senate considered the report of its Committee on Ethics and Privileges directed to investigate the matter. In a report by the committee, it recommended that Senator Ndume be suspended for 181 sitting days for bringing unfounded and unverified allegations against the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, and Senator Dehumanize. However, a federal lawmaker appealed instead that Senator Ndume be suspended for 6 months. Meanwhile, the Senate has directed its Committee on Ethics and Privileges to investigate unsavory remarks allegedly made by the chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee on Corruption, Professor Isse Sage. Raising a point of order on the floor, Deputy Senate Leader Bala Ibn Allah drew the attention of lawmakers to a report in a newspaper publication where Professor Sage was quoted as saying that the Senate is filled with people of questionable character. Senator Ibn Allah maintains that senators do not have questionable character and asked the upper chamber to summon Professor Sage to name those he's referring to. The Senate consequently asked its Committee on Ethics and Privileges to further investigate the matter. President Muhammadu Buhari has sent the names of 2 ministerial nominees representing Kogi and Gombe states to the Senate for confirmation. The Kogi State nominee, Mr. Stephen Ochene, is replacing the late Minister of State for Labour, James Ocholi, who died in a car accident last year. The second nominee from Gombe State, Mr. Suleiman Hassan, is replacing the immediate past Minister of Environment, Amina Mohammed, who has taken up an appointment as U.S. Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. One person has died in Cross River State following a clash between suspected herdsmen and members of a community in Odupani local government area of the state. The State Commissioner of Police, Hafiz Unowa, named the victim as Etim Okonapan. He says, though normalcy has returned to the area, the police is doing all it can to bring the perpetrators to book. Moving on to other stories, the leadership of the Yoruba socio-political group Afenifere has condemned what it terms the attempt made by the Nigerian police to intimidate and dehumanize the Yoruba people during a recent clash in Ile-Ife, Osun State, southwest Nigeria. The group made this known at the end of its closed-door meeting in Akure, the Ondo State capital. Reading its final communique to newsmen, the National Publicity Secretary, Yinka Odumaki, condemned the fact that the people arrested were transported to Abuja and paraded as criminals without a fair hearing. He says the Osun State Police Command should have taken charge of the investigation and forward a report to the state's prosecution office for advice on possible prosecution if need be.
Very disbanding. The Dragons is serious about his mandates of protecting lives and property of citizens as enshrined in the constitutional constitutions. He should immediately, and in a matter of urgency, disarm all the herdsmen who are carrying AK-47 and killing people all over the country. You disarm them immediately and prosecute those who are found with guns. The only people that are licensed to carry arms and be going around in Nigeria today are security agencies. Where did the herdsmen get their authority? And we are saying that the time has come for those who are doing cattle business, who are engaged in the private business of raising cattle, where they are making money and profit. The time has come for them to go and have ranches where they will raise their cattle. They can say to us, they can bring compete with us, Abu will buy. They cannot continue to harass us. We are agrarian community in the southwest. Many people now cannot farms because the full white men have taken out their farms. This cannot continue.
Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi has called on the National Boundary Commission to assist in resolving the lingering interstate boundary issues with Anambra State. Governor Ugwuanyi made this known at a meeting with members of the commission who are in the state to carry out an ethnographic study on the boundary. Governor Ugwuanyi notes that he will continue to welcome any initiative that will foster peaceful coexistence with its neighboring states.
In the efforts aimed at ensuring the restoration of peace and harmony to these areas, the Commission is embarking on an elaborate ethnographic study of the boundary corridor aimed at realizing this important objective. This exercise is supposed to last about 6 days. In the conduct of the exercise, Your Excellency, we shall engage major stakeholders on peace-building initiatives through focus group discussions and other interactive measures. It is also expected that questionnaires will be administered to stakeholders at selected communities and local government areas.
I can assure you that the people of Benue State are peace-loving and will always welcome any initiative or measure that will lead to cordial and peaceful relationship with their neighbors. I am confident that will bring a wealth of experience, expertise, and competence to bear in the performance of your assignment and ensure the amicable and satisfactory resolution of any outstanding boundary-related issues within the two sister states.
Over 15,000 ghost pensioners have been removed from the federal government's payroll, saving over 300 million naira a month. This is according to the Executive Secretary of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, Mrs. Sharon Ikeazo, who explained that the Directorate is carrying out a pensioners' verification exercise across the country. She added that more will be weeded out when the exercise is concluded in the Southwest in July this year.
PITAN, in collaboration with ICPC and the banks, had removed 15,600 pensioners from their payroll that had no BVN. But for genuine pensioners that had BVN and were affected by this exercise, they have contacted us and we have asked them to bring in their bank BVN slip, the printout they get from the bank, and we payroll them back. Legacy pension funds amounting to 19 billion 137 million 694,000 have remained in the custody of insurance companies. We have issued demand notices to the insurance companies for the transfer of the outstanding funds into our dedicated e-collection accounts. We opened the TSA account with the central bank for the recovery of these assets. The agency, amidst all its challenges, we continue steadfastly to pursue the improvement of the welfare of pensioners under our management.
When news across Nigeria returns, Edo State registers 63,000 unemployed persons. Details in a moment. Please stay with us.